comments and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Greg Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Topo Village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like with no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Focal TV, bringing you innovation.
Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello K. Lyndon Toba. My name is Greg Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Topo Village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like with no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focus.
Hey folks, welcome back again. It's such a pleasure to be seated in the driver's seat to bring to you developments returning to Liberia, Africa, and our warm world. My name is Kate Lyndon Chopa, and today marks the seventh uh, day presentation of Inside the Print Media with me, Kate Lyndon Chopa. Today we have a lot of interesting stories from the various newspapers we have in our possession. Let me just acquaint you with the papers we have in our possession. We have the Daily Observer newspaper, we have the New Dawn newspaper, we have the Front Page Africa newspaper, and lastly, we have the Hot Purple newspaper. These are all local newspaper because of the elaborate content of all of the newspapers that I just read to you. We will not be bringing you the international news. But before we go, then let us take a short break. When we come back, we begin filling you in both the summary of the news headlines and that of the content of those newspaper we just read to you.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focus.
Okay, welcome back again, folks. For those of you who are watching, I urge you to please share the live stream so that other people can be informed. Let's go strictly over to the Daily Observer newspaper. Supreme Court to decide Koji's appearance in court. Supreme Court to decide Koji's appearance in court. That is one of the trending news story and found within the Daily Observer. Howbeit, we encourage you to go down Galley Street or in time and grab yourself a copy of this newspaper. Supreme Court to decide Koji's appearance in court. Let's go over to another headlines. ECOWAS is developing a digital platform for the classification of tourist accommodation establishment. I will read that again. ECOWAS is developing a digital platform for the classification of tourist accommodation establishment. That is another story found within the Daily Observer newspaper. Let's go over to the New Dawn newspaper. Cummings to lead CDC. That is a question that has been asked about the New Dawn newspaper as Koji announces opposition negotiation. Cummings to lead CDC as Koji announces opposition negotiation. That story can be found within the New Dawn newspaper. Let's go over to another story. Prosecute sanction officials, civil society group petition, LACC. LACC is that the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Prosecute sanction officials, civil society group petition, LACC. Let's go over to the Front Page Africa newspaper and see what Front Page Africa is reporting. A Front Page Africa newspaper. Unity Party headquarters accident reveals strained police relation. Deputy Police General Prince Waba alleges hatred from Inspector General Patrick Sudu. I will read that again. Unity Party headquarters accident reveals strained police relations. Deputy Inspector General Prince Waba alleges hatred from Inspector General Sudu. Let's go over to another headline on the front page African newspaper. Liberians urge President-elect Joseph Boakai to change narrative and break from the deep-rooted dependency syndrome in the country. Liberians urge President-elect Joseph Boakai to change narratives and break from deep-rooted dependency syndrome in the country. That is another story from the front page African newspaper. Let's move over to the Hot Pepper newspaper. CDC Youth League plan protest for inauguration day. CDC Youth League plans protest for inauguration day. Let's see, that is another interesting story. That is another interesting story from the Hot Pepper newspaper. Miata Fambula Hills Liberia elections to IMO Council Category A post. Miata Fambula Hills Liberia elections to IMO Category A post. And let's go over to the Daily Observer newspaper and see what the contents from these headlines are. Supreme Court to decide Koji's appearance in court. The Supreme Court is supposed to hear arguments regarding the potential appearance of Monrovia City Mayor Jefferson Koji at Criminal Court A to testify into the ongoing murder trial in connection with the death of Tyler Musu. The highest court has to decide whether Koji's court law should be subpoenaed and if he should be compelled to testify in relation to the alleged murder of Tyler Musu on February 22nd, 2023. In addition to Koji, similar arguments will be entertained for the wife of Koji's bodyguard, Vanny Tele, as well as Moses Wright, the private security. Moses Wright, the private security at the former Chief Justice Gloria Musu's home before Charles' death. Another person is Mohammed Keita, who is believed to have a connection with Koji. The involvement of the Supreme Court was prompted after Judge Roosevelt Willie of Criminal Court A denied the defense lawyer application to have Koji and his alleged accomplices testified. The defense is also seeking a writ of certiorari against Judge Willie's decision and requesting a review and correction by ordering him to subpoena the testimony of those names in the applications. In his denial decision, Judge Willie stated that the defense lawyer request to subpoena Koji and other lack specificity, evidence of disclosures of their motive. He also denied a similar application for the GSM company to produce the call law for Koji's and his co-subpoenaed persons. The defense denied application stated that Koji is expected to appear and testify regarding his ownership of separate mobile number as well as number believed to be owned by Mohammed Keita. Willie's likewise denied a similar application for the GSM company to produce the call log for Koji and his co-subpoenaed person. According to the denied application, Koji is to appear and testify to two separate numbers, 0776 40 79 69 and 0886 40 72 91 owned by him, and 0770 43 02 91 believed to be owned by Mohammed Keita. This number and the defense argue were used by the owner to communicate with Moses Wright, Scout Security on February 21, 2023, the eve of the day Tyler Musu was allegedly murdered in the compound of Council Scout. As for Moses Wright, the application said he is to testify to the calls that he allegedly used his own number 0775 715 11 210 to communicate with the number 4 mentioned, which was also between the period of the incident between February 20 to 24, 2023. According to the defense, the number was used by Teller to contact both Mohammed Keita and Moses Wright on February 21 during the night Talon was allegedly murdered. These were allegedly used to communicate with Moses Wright's call security on the evening of February 21, 2023, the day before Talon Musu was allegedly murdered. As for the Moses Wright, the application stated that he is to testify before the court between made from his number during the period of the incident from February 20 to February 24, 2023. Teller's wife, whose identity was not disclosed, is also involved because her husband testified that he used his mobile number and another number registered in her name, but managed and used by his wife to contact both Mohammed Keita and Moses Wright on the night of Charles Musu's alleged murder. Defense Judge Willie dismissed this allegation, calling the defense lawyer efforts a fishing expedition. He stated that if the numbers and the physical evidence were to exist, the defense should have subpoenaed the Jason company or presented the physical evidence in their possession to prove that Mohammed Keita was present during the incident leading to Charles Musu's death. The judge ruled that inviting this individual to testify could be a self-incrimination, which is not allowed by the law. These are some decisions that the Supreme Court will be reviewing and possibly correcting if necessary. This is how we move over to another headline. Airports is developing a digital platform for the classification of tourist accommodation establishment. Implementation of the brand new regulations on the classification of tourist accommodation establishment within the airports region. Digitalizations of hotels classification within airports. A major step forward for airports as a destination, says Mr. Mamin Membia Kian Nianan, Minister of Tourism and Recreation for Senegal, on the opening ceremony. From 21st to 24th November 2023, member states at the invitation of the Airports Commission met to define the technical specification of a digital platform dedicated to the classification of tourist accommodation establishment. In his welcome address, Dr. Luca Bulumini, director in charge of the private sector, on behalf of Mr. Masandi, Commissioner in charge of Economic Affairs and the Agriculture, welcome all of the delegations whose presence testified the commitment to the development of the tourism industries in our region. Dr. Elamunian then conveyed the Commissioner's message to the participant. In his address, he mentioned that the Commissioner's message to the participant, accommodation establishment is an innovative measure aimed at enhancing the values of airports DMC fleet. It will observe as an information hub by making it easier for international and regional tourists to access accommodation options in the region. Dr. Miaman Mebe Kane, Minister of Tourism and Seizure of Senegal, in his opening remark, commended the diligence of Airports Commission through Mystery and Ms. Sandy, Commissioner for Economic Affairs and Agriculture. He said that this brilliant initiative by airports to digitize the classification of hotel establishment comes in the context where Senegal, through the Ministry of Tourism and Legislature, is designing and implementing major projects related to the dematerialization of procedures and the finalization of the tourism code, which orders a new airports rules and classification grade. The genesis of this initiative dates for July 2023, marked by the adoption of the regulation by CJEC of 207-2023 by the Airports Council of Ministers upon the recommendations of the Minister of Tourism and Airports member states. These regulations establishes the regulatory criteria for the classification of tourist accommodation establishment within the airports community. Regulation also enshrines the establishment of the airport's tourist accommodations regulated enabling the Airports Commission to play a crucial role in the entire process of regulation and control of the hotel industry in each member state. This active involvement ensures the established standards and regulations are effectively implemented and consistently maintained, resulting in higher quality and safety performance across facilities in the region. The operationalization of the airport tourism accommodation regulated is complemented by a powerful operational tool, a robust digital platform dedicated to the ranking of accommodation establishment throughout the airport's region. The anticipated benefit of the digital platform includes reduction of cost and time for public tourism's administration in charge of hotel classification, bringing tourism administration closer to the developer, eliminating the need for extensive travel to fulfill their obligation for tourism administration, the promotion of jobs specific to the hotel industry, the availability of real-time statistical data on the hotel supply throughout airports as well as on tourist arrival. Transparency and fairness in the ranking, the enhancement of establishment in accordance with airports regulations, strengthening the competitiveness of airports destination. At the end of the plenary and workshop discussion, the meeting formulated expected functionalities of the platform, which are broken down into 5 digital spaces that can be implemented in a scalable way. This is how we move over to another headlines on the New Dawn newspaper. Cummings to lead CDC as Koji announces opposition negotiation. Information circulating in the corridor of the ruling coalition of Democratic team suggests that CPP and ANC political leader Alexander B. Cummings is likely to lead the CDC. The New Dawn is learning that there are ongoing negotiations and conversation within the hierarchy of the CDC for one-time critic of President Weah to replace Mr. Weah as the new political leader of the towering coalition that lost the 14 November presidential runoff recently. The CDC seems to have embarked on a rebranding mission in the readiness for 2029 as it re-energizes the face to face the UP, its main rival since 2005. Sources are hinting that the decision to bring on board Mr. Cummings to replace President Weah, who they said has no intention of contesting for the presidency again. One source disclosed that the executive committee of CDC is resolved in making show that Mr. Weah retires as face of the party following the has edition described as his hasty concession for the UP ignoring the leadership in the just ended presidential runoff elections. Angry and disappointed citizens are accusing President Weah of handing over the presidency to Ambassador Joseph Yuma Bwaka, winner of the November 14 runoff election, unknown to the party, something they consider as disrespectful. CDC Secretary General Tamakoji has disclosed that they are holding conversation and consultation with the Alternative National Congress of Mr. Alexander B. Cummings to form a stronger opposition alliance. Making the disclosure on December 4, 2023, when he appeared on Voice of Liberia live morning show, Mr. Koji said that they are in conversation with Mr. Cummings to build a stronger opposition alliance to keep the feet of President-elect Bwaka to the fire. We are having conversation with the ANC and the CPP by extension to bring the party together in order to build a stronger opposition alliance. With this alliance, we will keep the feet of the government elect to the fire. And so we are having conversation with Mr. Cummings and other political parties to build a stronger opposition alliance for 2029, Koji confirmed. Meanwhile, validating Koji's revelation, a stalwart of the CDC, Dr. Lester D. Tennant, has been venting his anger at incumbent President George Manneh Weah for various reasons. In his recent conversation with Spoon FM, Dr. Lennon vowed that never again will Mr. Weah be allowed to contest on the CDC ticket as standard bearer. Dr. Tanner believes that Weah, the founder of the CDC, will no longer be given the privilege and opportunity to contest on the party ticket in 2029 and beyond. I have I have read in several newspapers and even listened to radios where I heard President Weah blaming the executive committee of the party for the defeat and describing the executive committee as insincere, he said. Quote me, President Weah will never be the standard bearer of the CDC again, he maintained. However, it remains to be seen that whether sedition will literally worship Mr. Weah as go-ahead of the Congress of Democratic Change, have the muscle to reject the man that has led them in the past 19 years up to the presidency. Prosecute sanction official civil society group petition LACC. At least 8 civil society and community-based organizations have petitioned the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission to investigate and prosecute sanctioned officials. The petitioners are made up of 228 practitioners under the auspices of Joint Civil Society Anti-Corruption Initiative, JOSA. In their petition, they have asked the newly confirmed Board of Commissioners at LCC to act against alleged sanctioned officials. The CSL group said they are committed to supporting the fight against corruption and bad governance in Liberia. They called on LCC to launch a timely, robust, and impartial investigation into corruption allegations. They also petitioned the LCC to prosecute the concerned officials in line with its mandate of investigating and prosecuting all allegations and incidences of corruption in Liberia. JOSA gets its funding from the Jewish International Development and Cooperation CEDA through the Center for Transparency and Accountability, Liberia Central. JOSA took to the streets in Monrovia Wednesday, 6 December, seeking the attention of the government through the LCC regarding its demand for investigation and prosecution of alleged corrupt officials. The group presented a petition to the LCC to act on corruption allegations, which led the U.S. to sanction 3 Liberian officials in the ongoing coalitions of Democratic Change-led government. Reading the petition of LCC office in Congo Town, JOSA member Alfred J. Todd disclosed that Transparency International defines corruption as the abuse of entrusted power and authority for private gain. Afrida lamented that corruption is pervasive in Liberia and it is considered one of the major causes of the country's gross underdevelopment and poverty-stricken condition of its citizens. She noted that the country is endowed with natural and other valuable resources. The group began its march against corruption from Central Head Office and paraded the streets in several banners carrying different inscriptions. Some read, investigate sanctioned officials for a better Liberia and don't be part of corruption. Be part of the solutions among others. According to JOSA, the governments of Liberia supported by the international partner citizens and other stakeholders has established key anti-graft institutions and passed key laws. It said the laws include the new Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission Act of 2022, the Whistleblower Protection Act, the Witness Protection Act, and the amended Code of Conduct for Public Officials. Additionally, JOSA noted that Liberia has signed up to key international anti-corruption framework to fight against corruption. It named some of those frameworks to the United Nations Convention Against Corruption and the African Union Conventions on Preventing, Combating, and Corruption. Despite this effort, JOSA lamented that the fight against corruption in Liberia remains challenged and undermined by several factors. AFIDA named low budgetary and logistical support to public integrity institutions, weak enforcement of anti-corruption laws and policies are some of the challenges. AFIDA called on the LCC to request from the United States government all information related to corruption allegations involving persons sanctioned between 9 December 2020 to August 2022 regarding whom prosecution are yet to commence. She named the sanctioned officials including Councilor Van G. Sherman of Grand Cape Bank County, Senator Prince White Johnson, Margibi County, Senator-elect Nathaniel McGill, Riverside County-elect Bill Twawe, and Liberia former Solicitor General Councilor Seaman Serena Alcifos. In response to Joseph's petition, LCC's Executive Chairperson Councillor Alexandra Zoll thanked the group for taking what she called a bold step in seeking corruption-free society for growth of the country. We are glad that you have come up with this, but I want to assure you that these actions are part of the LCC plan for 2024 to go after corrupt officials who have been accused, she said. This is how we skip over to front page African newspaper. Unity Party headquarters accident reveals strained police relation. Deputy Inspector General Prince Mobile alleges hatred from Inspector General Sudu. Deputy Inspector General of Police Prince B. Mobile has fired back at his superior, Inspector General Conan Patrick Sudu, through a letter addressed to the Minister of Justice Frank Musa Dane. The letter dated December 5, 2023 highlights a deepening rift within the Liberian National Police leadership. The controversy evolves around the handling of the accident that occurred on November 20, where a vehicle plowed into jubilant Unity Party supporter, leaving 3 dead and 25 injured. Lawrence K. Williams, the driver, was later identified as the suspect in the case. The incident prompted an immediate investigation by the Liberian National Police Public Safety Division, with the Crime Service Department joining in to explore potential criminal intent. However, the disagreement between the top brass of the LNP came to light when Inspector General Sulu expressed his disappointment in the DIGP Mobile's alleged unilateral decision to press murder charges against the suspect without thorough consultation and adherence to legal procedure. In his letter to the Minister of Justice, the Director, Deputy Inspector General Mobile defended his action, accusing Sulu of exhibiting poor mediocre leadership and suggested a personal vindictive against him. Mobile claimed that the decision to charge Williams with murder was on a thorough investigation conducted by the Crime Against Person Unit Homicide Section and had the approval of the Minister of Justice. Mobile, to briefly address the baseless attempt by Conan Sulu to define my alleged role played into the case as disappointing. I see it as a show of sheer hatred for me and a manifestation of a very poor and mediocre leadership being exhibited by ID Patrick Sulu over the years. The Crime Against Person Unit Homicide is an obligation to probe cases of death, murder, aggravated assault, simple assault, including any and all manner of crime against the safety of persons and institutions. We receive the investigative report and providing guidance based on what is presented to us and forwarded same to authorities, including the Inspector General of Police. It has not been a normal practice between Patrick Sulu's supervision where police charge sheet would be approved by me or him before a case is sent to court. What he's received at a later time is investigative report that come through a team to my office and over to his office. Furthermore, Mobile accused Sulu of neglecting regular administrative or operational meetings within the LNP for over three and a half years, fostering a lack of communication and coordination among the leadership. He emphasized that the case was not a matter of political rivalry, but a national concern, dismissing Sulu's insinuation that it was a CDC versus Unity Party issue. In response to Sulu's allegations of mishandling the case, Mobile attached a copy of the investigative report to the letter, urging that the Minister of Justice to convene a meeting with the entire LNP leadership to address the ongoing issue within the institution. It scares me, and I'm surprised for the Inspector General of Police to say We didn't know he didn't know anything about the case going to court on criminal charges. On Friday, November 24, 2023, the investigator led by ACP Anthony P. Blee came up to my office to brief me on the status of their investigation. They informed me that they were set for criminal charges against the suspect Lawrence K. Williams. I asked him to convince me why he should be charged criminally rather than with traffic offense. They did as evidenced by the attached copy of the investigative report. I immediately called up to Inspector General Patrick T. Sulu to inform him about what the officers have said. I even suggested negligent homicide, but the Inspector General insisted that if the investigation has established criminal culpability, we should go with murder instead. If the investigators have established criminal case and state suspect intent motive, then let's charge him with murder, he asserted. He also instructed him to inform Minister of Justice, Councillor Musa Dame, about the case and how we intended to conclude same. I did reach out to the minister, who cautioned me that if we can prove criminal case against the suspect, then we should charge him properly and have a press conference to the effect. I tried to get back to IG, but to no avail, and the issues of habeas corpus was at the stake. Something he had to evolve. I did not normally brief the Minister of Justice until I instructed to do so by IG. In his absence, we deputies briefed the Justice Minister through the Deputy IG for Administration, Honorable Sadatu L.M. Rees, who always acts in his stead. Inspector General Sulu, in his own communication dated December 1, expressed frustration over the lack of transparency in the process, citing irregularities in the investigation. He called for an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the forwarding of the murder case to court without his knowledge and requested evidence supporting the murder charge. Councillor Sulu highlighted the following missteps in the investigation: that the investigation directly linked the suspect to the coalitions of democratic change, as found in the investigative findings count 3 and 6, which does not have any bearing on the case, without even contacting the party to authenticate its membership. That is unclear how the investigation derived its conclusion on the claim of gear failure, as indicated in count 12 of the investigative finding, which the vehicle was totally burned in the incident. That the premise of the investigator based its findings and conclusions in the case was a mere insinuation and assumption that was indeed a motive of monetary benefit, which was never established, as found in count 24 of the investigative finding. The derived murder charge was erroneous and would not lie in court. That a writ of arrest on suspect Lawrence K. Williams was issued on Saturday, November 25, 2023, prior to the case file being presented to the court on Monday, November 27, 2020. Sir, from the wealth of experience, the case file was to be accepted by the court, returns as given before the issuance of the writ of arrest. However, in the case of the writ was issued on Saturday, and the case file was forwarded to the court and returns received on Monday, which was in the reverse. Councillor Sulu urged the Minister of Justice to intervene and institute an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the forwarding of the murder case to the court without his knowledge. He also requested the evidence supporting the murder charge be made available. This is how we skip over to another headline. Liberian urged President-elect Joseph Boakai to change narrative, break from the deep-rooted dependency syndrome in the country. For several decades, Alfred Thier, not his real name, 59, a self-employed Liberian, has been repairing shoes in central Monrovia, hoping for a genuine change in the governance process of the country. His work is the only source of income, and he has utilized to send his children to school, including his daughter named Withheld, who was among recent graduates of the African Methodist Episcopal University on Camp Johnson Road in Monrovia. He is among the thousands of Liberians who exercised their political franchise in the just ended November 14 presidential runoff election. He wants Liberia's next president to change the narrative and the old age way of politicking in the post-conflict nation by prioritizing development over the accumulations of questionable and ill-gotten wealth. Liberians need better road, good electricity, healthcare delivery, and schools, and not for our leaders to continue to enrich themselves after stated while passing a sewing pain and a thread through a wound up shoe. According to him, an effective and efficient health system for Liberians and adequate road connectivity will enable them live a healthy life and enable them to move from one place to another to carry out commercial activity or render other services to become self-productive. This, he maintained, will also help citizens provide basic necessity for them and their respective family members. When electricity goes somewhere, business will follow, he added, listening to citizens. After observed that Liberians will continue to change leaders one after the other if the elected officials fail to prioritize the interests of the citizens who are their employers to enrich themselves and their immediate families and friends. He underscored the significance of Liberia's next president, Joseph Newman Boakas, to listen to suggestions and recommendations from citizens in finding lasting or sustainable solutions to addressing their plights. The next president should be the best person for Liberia that should do what the people want him to do. If he doesn't do those things, the people will boot him out. After further called on the next government to help address the growing wave of unemployment, especially among young people, he observed that many young people are roaming various streets in Monrovia and other parts of the country due to the lack of job opportunities. According to him, the situation has obligated most young people to turn to beggars, depending on handouts from public officials in order to survive. After maintaining that the job opportunity for young people will help them become productive citizens who will immensely contribute towards the infrastructure and socio-economic development of Liberia. This too much of begging will not us as citizens. I am 59 years old and I have a daughter who is out of college. This job I am doing send her to school and college. Speak on issue. Famatai Kowo, 55, called on President-elect Waka to avoid remaining mute on key national issues affecting and endangering the lives of citizens and the country at large. She said the next government should desist from taking decision or action that could only suit friends and family members. She emphasized that the former vice president should use his over 40 years of experience in public service to make decisions that could benefit the masses. If any bad things happen, Joseph Barker should be able to put people on the field to investigate, and the Liberian people should be able to see the consequences of the investigation. Crackdown on drugs. Kowo called for a major crackdown on the trading and intake of illegal substances, including coach. This drug issue is really serious. We don't want to see it because our children are spoiling. They may not be our belly bump, but all women feel the same pain during delivery. Let Waka get rid of it. She furthered that civil servants should be paid better wages to be able to pay the fees of their children attending various public and private schools and universities across the country. Uphold the rule of law. Samuel Wickut, 62, cautioned against disregard for the rule of law and misappropriation of public funds under the incoming UP government. I believe that Joseph Walker can make a positive change. I expect him to conduct an audit first. Martha Hinan, 61, called on the government to promote accountability and transparency in steering the affairs of the country. For too long, she added that the wealth and resources of Liberia have been mismanaged as much. President-elect Joseph Boakai should ensure that the the well-being of the masses is prioritized above the interest of him and his government. Sometimes we should ask ourselves as Liberians why our country is still beyond other countries. The next president has been elected and the ball is now on his court to perform and leave back a legacy. I think one of the best legacies he can leave behind is to prosecute government officials who have been accused of corruption. She observed that the prompt replacement of the poorly performing elected officials will serve as deterrence for those contemplating on enriching themselves and making decisions that will not benefit the citizenry. I want for Liberians to change the leaders after every 6 years if they fail to perform. This will this will help make most of them serious to do things or take decisions that will benefit the people who elected them to power. With this being said, this is how we move over to the Hot Pepper newspaper. CDC Youth Plan protest for Inauguration Day. The National Youth League of the Coalitions of Democratic Change have vowed to peacefully assemble on January 22nd, 2024 at an unspecified location to demand justice for all innocent civilians allegedly killed by the Unity Party, Cynthia Quesnel reports. Speaking at the news conference on Wednesday, December 6, 2023, at the national headquarters of the CDC, the youth chairman of the party, Emmanuel Moba, said the Youth League is aware of how the Liberian National Police has been infiltrated and politically weaponized by President-elect Joseph Boakai to deny innocent family justice for the killings of scores of seditions. Chairman Johnson calls on seditions to remain committed to the ideology of the CDC and continue to remain the beacon of hope that Liberians can count on. We have witnessed for the past few months before and after the election the mass killing of partisans of the CDC by the death squad militant of the Unity Party. Those martyr comrades, which include but are not limited to Aloysius Bag, killed in Nimba, under the direct instruction of Vice President-elect Jeremiah Kuhn, Tama Momo, Josiah Jedwo, killed in Foya, Lofa County and partisan Joshua Solomon, who was killed a few days ago. All these names are allegedly killed under the direct instruction of President-elect Joseph Boakai, Johnson alleged. Meanwhile, the CDC Youth League says it strongly believes that Representative Fonati Kofa's election as Speaker will cause the national legislature to gain its independent status in order to exercise its legislative responsibility without fear of failure. This will serve as a genuine step towards putting an end to the culture of imperial presidency and ushering a legislature of robust oversight, adequate representation, and proper lawmaking, he stated. The CDC Youth League used the occasion to urge the next government to make use of existing audit report and, if need to conduct a forensic audit of the outgoing government official for the past 6 years. Conduct the audit. We believe that accountability breeds the national trust and transparency at the feet of CDC government has achieved over the past 6 years, and consistent periodic audit of the consolidated account and strengthening of the internal audit at various ministries, line, and agency, which has created control and internal transparency and those eliminating any acts of corruption in public service for the past 6 years. Johnson continued. With this being said, this is how we move over to another headline. Miata family hails Liberia post. I'll go back again, sorry. Miata family hails Liberia election to IMO Council Category A post. Veteran Liberian female musician Miata family has held the International Maritime Organization on Liberia recent elections to Category A of the Council in London, the United Kingdom. Family served as the guest performer at a special concert organized in London, which coincided with Liberia's election to Category A of the Council of IMO, where she, through her popular song, helped in further raising the flag of Liberia in the shipping war. She said in an exclusive interview with her residents with the hot pepper in Monrovia at the Liberian should take pride in the nation's Category A place within the IMO Council for the next 2024-2025 Berlinian, which has restored the Liberia lost dignity among the Committee of Nations, especially in the Council of the International Maritime Organization. The acclaimed female musician icon voice that Liberia has the highest fleet of ships flying is pledged that retaining Category A within the IMO is highly commendable, though she underscored the importance of the employment of Liberian seafarers and on board these vessels carrying the country's players on international water. Liberia last served Category A of the Council of the IMO in 1995, but lost the position due to protracted civil war and got elected on the Category C in 2011 for 2012 and 2013 Berlinian. It was not until recently the IMO 33 Assembly session of the organization on Friday, December 1, 2023, that Liberia was elected to Category A during a hotly contested elections along with 9 other countries: China, Greece, Italy, Japan, Norway, US, Panama, and the Republic of Korea and the United Kingdom. She emphasized that Liberia, with 14% of the world's ocean-going fleet, that is some 5,000 vessels, nearly fits in this category. Regarding the concert, Family explained that her yesteryear songs such as Everyone Likes Saturday Night and Komasika, among others, did not thrill the ship owners or members of the shipping arena. They also attracted land using language of the Liberian Maritime Authority alongside schools of Liberian in London to their fleet in celebrations of the nation's elections to the IMO Category A position of the council. I am hardly impressed by Liberia's maritime program retaining once more its Category A post with the council of the IMO, Family stated. She then took off the time to install the entire crew at the Lehman that worked overtime to ensure that the country got elected with the IMO 33 Assembly section. On the country just ended election, Liberia female music style also commended fellow citizens for voting Liberia as our common denominator above religion, tribal connections, and less to pay party line. She further noted that the citizens demonstrated a high degree of maturity during the polls conducted by the National Elections Commission headed by one-time ERBC journalist David Ethel Brown, which results were qualified by international election observer foreign nations, including the US and the EU, among others, as free, fair, credible, and democratic. Family used the occasion to entreat every Liberian at home and in the diaspora to rally their support around the president-elect Ambassador Joseph Boakai, standard bearer of the Unity Party, for the rebuilding of a vibrant society under the new political dispensation. She also hailed out outgoing President Weah for peacefully conceding defeat in the presidential election of November 14, 2023, which saw Ambassador Boakai as the victor in the race, which political pundits considered to be a competitive and peaceful election. So with this being said, this is how we will zero down on all of the trending situations pertaining to the various newspaper. That is the Front Page Africa, Daily Observer newspaper, New Dawn newspaper, and the Hot Pepper newspaper. So many thanks to all of you who have been following this live presentation. We encourage you to encourage other people who do not have the capacity to actually stick and still with Focal Online TV to be informed about the daily happen. As I said earlier, because of the interesting nature of all of those newspapers in our possession, we were unable to actually read news from the international story, but we are very hopeful by tomorrow we will make the news more concise so that we can fill you in with the international development. So many thanks to all of you who have been following this live presentation. And this is how I choose to call your day. Bye bye from my end.